Hi, and welcome to A Heart Healthy Holiday. I am Jennifer Williams, your host for this special presentation as we discuss all things heart health. Today we are so honored to have with us Jenny Guevara, nurse practitioner lead here at Cardiac Services at Cooperman-Barnabas Medical Center. As we prepare for the holiday season, we want you to keep your heart in tip-top shape. We will be discussing everything from holiday cooking, my favorite topic, to preparing for winter weather. Not a great topic, but we still need to be prepared. So if you have a question for Jenny, please leave us a comment below and we'll do our best to get to those questions. So please help me welcome Jenny. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to A Heart Healthy Holiday.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm
We're
so
so-
excited to be here.
We're so glad to have you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do here?
Sure, so I'm the lead nurse practitioner for cardiac services here at Cooperman-Barnabas Medical Center. I see the cardiac patients, especially those admitted with heart failure, in collaboration with the cardiac and medical team to help care for them.
That's wonderful. So to answer one of our comments, so we are talking all things heart health today. So to kick things off, as we get into this time of year, we're always on the go. We're running to a friend's house, we're going shopping, we're always on the road, it seems like. And then that's usually the time where we stop and maybe get like the not so great snacks. So what are some things that we should keep in mind as we are preparing as to be on the road and we want to have that little snack and we get that craving?
Yes, that's a really great question. So definitely preparing ahead of time to the best of your ability. If you know you're going to be out doing shopping, going to multiple stores or the mall for a few hours, definitely take some healthy snacks with you, some fruit, some apple slices in a reusable container or a baggie, or celery, carrot sticks, or some salt-free nuts. You know, just have something available so you're not tempted to stop for a sugary snack on your way.
No donuts.
Yes, you probably should avoid the donuts.
And what about, you know, if we tend to stop at places like Dunkin' Donuts and getting coffee, we should be limiting our caffeine?
Yeah, definitely. You should limit your caffeine intake. Excess caffeine can cause a lot of stress on the heart, especially irregular heart rhythms and things of that nature. So limit your caffeine, and if you are going to get a coffee, try to limit getting those really sugary drinks and lattes that we can sometimes indulge in.
Yeah.
Just really limit those.
So yeah, everything in moderation, right?
Exactly, that is definitely the key.
And so we do have some really great tips to share with you. So we're going to comment and pin those in our comments. So be sure to click that link, and you'll have that as a resource. So speaking of sugary things and all the good indulgences, holiday eating is probably my favorite subject of the holiday season. When we're cooking, obviously there's a lot of traditional things that we have on our menus, but what really should we be watching out for when we are preparing our recipes this year?
Yeah, so as we all gather for the holiday seasons, when you're cooking all our wonderful, delicious holiday meals, try and limit all the stuff we all love to put in food, fats, oil, sugar, salt, butter. All of that can really cause detriment to the heart, especially if a family member with a heart condition. It can really be stressful for them to be eating foods with a lot of this. I know there's a lot of good recipes out there, heart healthy recipes, especially the American Heart Association, heart.org has some recipes that you can look up that are all heart healthy.
And we have some recipes too that we'll share with you again in those comments, so keep a lookout for those. And what about drinking alcohol intake, wines and cocktails and things like that?
Yes, the holiday season is an easy time to indulge, so you definitely should be limiting as much as possible. I'd even speak to your healthcare provider to see if you're even healthy enough to have that extra glass of wine with dinner. Sometimes alcohol can interact with your medications, and it's not recommended for some conditions at all. So I would definitely, if you're unsure, speak to your healthcare provider, and they'll direct you.
Just about be careful, and
yes.
Again, back to our point of everything in moderation.
Yes.
And it is that great time of year when we can gather, and this year it is a little safer for us to gather, of course, with restrictions and doing it properly and carefully, but that can also be stressful being around our families again. It kind of, it can stir up a lot of things. It's a lot of pressure to be around so many people sometimes, plus we haven't really been around, maybe last year we didn't get to celebrate. So what are some tips that you have for us about, just kind of managing that stress?
Yes, so definitely, sometimes all it takes is getting up and walking away for a few minutes. Even just taking 5 minutes if, family's starting to stress a little bit, just walk away, take a deep breath. Sometimes just taking a moment, you take that deep breath, close the door behind you, even for 5 minutes. Sometimes you walk back with a fresh perspective. And you will have calmed yourself a little bit because you got a little exercise in there walking away and a little bit of deep breaths.
Dual purpose,
Yes,
a little
exactly.
exercise, but a little cleansing breath and cleansing the mind.
Yes.
And it's so important too, I think that we tend to forget about our self-care. Do you have any tips for us about, how to manage, or take that time for ourselves to really just kind of
Yes.
take a moment?
It is so important, not only during this holiday season, but all year round, to really try and just take a few moments for yourself. I get it, I'm a full-time working mother, and many of us have a full-time and have families. And sometimes just taking that, even 10 minutes for yourself, read your favorite book, go for a walk outside, especially if the weather is agreeable. Just go for a 5-minute walk, watch your favorite Netflix show, or for a few minutes or something. Just, it is important just to get that me time.
Yeah. Even sometimes that brisk cold air sometimes feels good. It kind of like wakes you up. It gives you a little bit of like rejuvenation. But it's important to do those things, and take time for ourselves.
Yeah,
for sure.
Keeping with a regular exercise program, of course, talk to your healthcare provider, what program's right for you. But even walking is great for everybody, and it does give you a little bit of a relaxation.
Yeah, so important. And with the holiday season comes a lot of travel. People, whether you're taking a car or an airplane, what are some precautions we should take and things to keep at the top of our minds when traveling this year?
Yeah, so another really great question. So definitely take frequent breaks. If you're driving a long distance, stop, use the bathroom, stretch your legs, keep the blood flowing, and same thing with long airplane rides. Just every so often, just get up, even if it's just a quick little walk, it gets the blood going, and you just go back to your ride. And make sure before you go you have extra medications with you. Make sure you have enough for your trip, that you're not running low, and maybe even take a little extra, so you don't want to run out if you get stuck somewhere.
Unfortunately, with holiday travel comes a lot of delays, so you just want to be extra prepared for that. And I think that tip too about, I think we forget once we get on the airplane, sometimes we just like want to stay in our seat and not move around, but that too, you need to get that blood flowing and make sure everything's pumping properly. Hitting all of our, that's great. And I know today there's a little flurry on the forecast. My coworker insists that we are going to have a snow-free year. So hopefully we're putting that out.
Put it out there. Yes, put it out there.
We're putting it out. We're putting it there. But if you do have a heart condition, we shouldn't be, right? We shouldn't be shoveling or doing any of those things.
Please, if you have any underlying heart condition, especially, please do not shovel snow. It does put a lot of strain on the heart. Unfortunately, every snow season, our emergency departments are full with people having heart attacks or chest pain because of shoveling snow. So it really is not recommended. If you do need to, try and get some help. Try and get a family member to help you who's healthy enough to shovel. If you have the means, you can hire somebody or get the teenager down the block who wants to make a few extra bucks.
They're always looking.
But it's or if you're really unsure, if you even have any underlying conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, speak to your healthcare provider to see if even that is enough to make you healthy to do it. But I would really avoid it if you can.
Yes. So
really
that's
avoid it.
Try not
Don't
to
do it, please.
And we have some tips to share with you too about, again, not taking care of yourself and watching out for yourself in this winter weather. And I think that all ties into the last year plus, some of us have neglected our health, and it's important to will be a new year, we should restart our screening. So what yearly screening should we be getting, and how do we, we should be making our appointments, and what checkups we should be getting?
Yes, if you have not seen your primary care provider, please make an appointment. They do telehealth visits now. There's all sorts of access to care that you can get, but it is so important to follow up with, have your blood pressure checked, your cholesterol checked. We have blood tests to measure for diabetes, make sure to rule out that you don't have diabetes. especially if you haven't been in a while. Unfortunately, those things I mentioned, high blood pressure, diabetes, you may have absolutely no symptoms and not even know you have it. So getting that screening done, and of course, all the recommendations for your age group, all the vaccinations, flu shot, your yearly flu shot, if you're able to get it, if you're eligible for it, and it's recommended by your provider, and just make sure you get all that checked, pap smears, mammograms, colonoscopies, anything that you're due for or overdue for, make sure you get it done. It's important.
That's the key. We want to stress, check with your healthcare providers, but do make sure that you're taking care of yourself and, keeping everything healthy, because it is, a wonderful time of year, and it's also like a good check to kind of restart and get back in the habit of doing the things that, getting our checkups and going for our appointments and things like that. And speaking of, our health, COVID is still around, and, cases are on the rise. What, I think people don't realize is that you and I have been talking about how COVID does there is effects on your heart, so you have to really make sure that you're, well armed and well informed about what's happening. So what's the latest information that you have for us?
So yes, unfortunately, COVID affects many things, and it can affect the heart as well. So it can cause all sorts of irregular heartbeats and arrhythmias. It's cause some heart attacks, and it can cause weak hearts, your heart to weaken also. So it is very important that if you're eligible for a vaccine and you have not gotten yet, please do so. If you're eligible for a booster, please do so. Again, if you're unsure, please check with your healthcare provider. If you're unsure that you can get it, if you think you may be allergic to a component or something, always check with your healthcare provider. They would be more than happy to discuss if you're eligible and the benefits or the risks against it, but they'll be more than happy to discuss that with you.
Yeah, and just kind of use that precaution when gathering with our families.
Yes, please maintain your social distancing, keep your gatherings as small as you can, wash your hands, and
all those things,
Yes.
all those things we've gotten used to,
Yes.
that have come a part of our daily lives. But these are also all great tips, not just for the holiday season, but all year round. So we hope that you found this information helpful, and we have a bunch of resources that we've pinned to our chat here, and if you have any questions, you can always message us, and we will be happy to get back to you. But thank you so much for coming today and spending time with us, and to everyone out there in Facebook land, happy holidays and stay safe. Keep your heart healthy.